coming on. We're coming on. We're on the air. We're here. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Prime Time, Tuesday evening, the 8 p.m. show, March 27th, 2018. It's Bruce here with Traveling with Bruce. How are you guys doing? Are you ready? I got some trivia. I got trivia for you guys. No cheating now. Don't be Googling on me and try to get these questions and sneak them in the back door. I'm watching you guys. I hope you had a good few hours off. I had my 1 hour and 35 minutes off between shows. I got my first one posted, and it's already registering views as normal, and all is good there. I had a bite to eat, and just getting ready to go on show number 2. So welcome back for those of you who were here at 5 o'clock, and welcome to those of you who weren't here at 5 o'clock. And I guess a special welcome to any of you who are watching that have never watched this thing before. You've never been to my channel before. You're wondering, what's this guy doing? What, he's just sitting there and he's talking. What's this all about? Well, let me tell you what it's all about. I'm Bruce with Traveling with Bruce, and I'm your host for this evening's show. I'm on 8 times a week. I do 8 live streams a week, Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock Eastern time. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do a second show, 8 o'clock Eastern time, which is right now. This is one of those 2 right now. Saturdays, I'm on at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's a total of 6 live streams. And we talk about travel. We talk about traveling on cruise ships predominantly, because a lot of us here love going on cruises. And we talk about travel in general after that. This is an open Q&A kind of show. You can ask me anything you want about going on a cruise ship holiday if you've never done one before. If you haven't done one in a while, like say you haven't been on a cruise ship for say, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, it's been that long. Oh, have things ever changed? It's not the same anymore. Yeah, the ship's in the water, true. The oceans are the oceans, but are the ships different? And pricing is different, and packages are different, and there's changes happening almost every week. And that's what this broadcast is about. We try to stay on top of the latest cruise ship updates, announcements, the new ships coming out, ships are being refurbished, the new packages, staying on top of really good deals, that kind of thing. So yeah, if you have, you want to know about what's going on in the cruise game, you've come to the right place. If you're a cruiser, someone who loves to go on cruises, you've also come to the right place, because you're surrounded by folks who love talking about cruise ship vacations as well. So I mean, it's just a free-for-all for that. This channel is 7.5 months old. I started this channel last August in the summertime. I'm located in British Columbia. I'm in Creston, British Columbia. There are a handful of people in Creston that actually watch my show on a very rare occasion. I think some of them watch me on reruns, but I think they've subscribed to my channel like out of niceness. Yeah, I'll subscribe to you. Okay, but they're probably not watching. But it's okay if they are watching. Welcome. I'm glad you're here too. I would say I know about 10 or 15 of my subscribers personally, probably 10 or 15. The rest I don't know, I've never met. They're folks like you. My numbers right now, when I was on this show yesterday afternoon, I had 1,463 subscribers, 1,463 yesterday afternoon. When I did this show this afternoon, I was at 1,477. I think I'm now at 1,478. And that's in a 7-month time frame, 7.5 months. So Christmas Day, like Boxing Day, the 26th of December, I know exactly how many subscribers I had. I had 150, and I know who number 150 is. I know him very well. And so from the 26th of December to now, 1,328 subscribers out of the 1,477. So everybody's new. We're all new here. I'm the old guy since August, and I'm 62, so I'm really the old guy. So it's just, the growth has just gone like this. Fantastic. I started live streaming early January the 6th. By the 8th of January, I was onto my schedule, and it's a hit. It's really playing well with my subscribers. It's playing well with my viewers. I get a lot of comments from viewers during the live streams themselves. If you're watching me live right now, you're probably seeing the messages coming in here. But I also get a lot of comments after on my regular videos, on all my videos. This broadcast right here will become a regular video on my channel. You can watch this broadcast tomorrow, tonight, next week, next month, next year. You can watch my first live stream from January 6th or January the 8th, and boy, was I bad. And yeah, it's going great. I love it. I'm really enjoying the engagement. Thumbs ups. People give me thumbs ups all the time during my live broadcast. I really appreciate getting those. They help with the algorithms. And if you're new to the channel, I invite you to become a subscriber. There's a button there. There's a button over there. And if you hit the button over here, this one, let's see if I can get my thumb in the right spot, right kind of over there, there's a bell icon beside that one, that button. And if you click on that, you'll get notifications every time I do a new live stream or go on the air with a regular video, because I still post videos from time to time and I don't tell you about it. I just got to do it. So that's kind of fun. My channel was demonetized on February the 20th. Like almost everybody else in YouTube that was of my size, we reached 1,000 subscribers on the 19th of February, just in time to make the cutoff for monetization consideration. Except that what we didn't realize, I didn't realize, and my subscribers didn't know this, even though we hit 1,000 subscribers, on the day before, you had to get to 1,000 subscribers, and you had to have 4,000 hours of watch time, which I have plenty of. I didn't realize that on the 20th, you're going to be demonetized anyway. You're just going to be automatically in review now. You're demonetized, but you're in review to be remonetized. That's 5 weeks ago today. 5 weeks, 35 days ago, we got cut off from cash flow from YouTube. So I've been working for free for YouTube now for 5 weeks. How's that working out for you guys at your jobs? You guys work for 5 weeks for nothing? Now, this is my job. This is all I do, 12 hours a day. I do research on cruise ships, set up my shows, promote my shows on various social networks, and try to grow my following. I have been getting super chat donations because 1,000 subscribers allows me to qualify for super chat donations. That we call the tip jar, and that's out of the goodness and kindness of your hearts, my viewers. I can only receive super chats from viewers during live streams, which is right now, and I appreciate any and all donations I get. If anyone makes a super chat donation to my channel of $10 or more, US $10 or more, you get your choice of one of these or one of those. I have necklaces, sport necklaces and sport medallions from NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, and some college teams. And I also have, in the case of medallions, I have the Marines, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, the Fire Department. I got the Beatles, and I got a Star Trek medallion. Ooh, Star Trek medallion. So if you know a Trekkie, there you go. These medallions are about the size of a quarter, and they work perfectly. They have an adhesive on the back of them. You stick them onto a quarter, and it's a ball marker for a golfer. Perfect. Otherwise, you stick them on a wallet or put them on the back of your cell phone, you know, your favorite team, or stick it on the computer, on the back of your computer case, or wherever you want. They're great. They go on keychains, that sort of thing. Anyway, so that's my little commercial for the day, and I thank all you guys for that. So other than that, that's the only form of income I got, although I am now setting up my own merchandise store. Oh my gosh, Traveling with Bruce is going to have merch. And I've got to design T-shirts and pullovers and sweatshirts and coffee mugs and buttons and, oh my gosh, everything else with some logos of my show on it. So I'm working on that right now. That's under construction. This is a one-man show here. It's a one-man office. So it takes a while to work all this. I'm learning all this new stuff. Tell you right now, a year ago, I had no idea how to do any of this. None. No clue whatsoever. And it's all news to me. So the growth curve continues. You're never too old to learn. Let me tell you, it has been an interesting experience. Let's see who's here. I'm going to say hi to the folks who've been signing in. And if you want to sign in, you're new, sign in. Tell me where you're from. What was your high temperature today, if you know it? Here in Creston, BC, we got up to 42, 43 degrees about 20 minutes ago. That was the high of the day. The sun's beginning to set now. It'll be dark in a little while. We had rain earlier today. Tomorrow, glorious sunshine. We're going to be in the 50s, probably 52, 53 degrees. I love it. Maybe spring is here. We'll hope and see. Jim Thomas was the first to say hi to me today. Good evening, Bruce and all. Richard Kornamaski kicked in there. Hello, everybody. And then he said hi to Jim. Peter Heckema came by, said hi, Bruce. We're ready for some trivia because tonight's trivia night. Richard Kornamaski, I wonder if Bruce forgot. No, he didn't forget. Tammy Ray. Hello, everybody. Tammy Ray. I only have 5:57 p.m. here. Still have a few minutes. Richard Kornamaski. Hello, Tammy. Maybe he's eating. Desi Wagner, hi everybody. I'm back for the next live. Desi Wagner, he's saying 49 seconds. You should be on. Tammy Ray then said, while we wait, what's everyone's favorite cruise ship today? And Richard Kornamaski said, Royal Princess. That's my favorite cruise ship, he's saying. And Peter Heckham was going, Allure of the Seas. I love that ship. That's a big one. You can see why. Richard Kornamaski, it was 4,200 passengers, lots of room, the way the ship was laid out, like the way the layout is of that Princess cruise ship. Desi Wagner, I'm still thinking of the Holland Westerdam. Yeah, nice ship. Holland America has a great line. Tammy Ray, I only have been on Carnival so far, so Carnival Dream for her. Richard Kornamaski, how big was that one? And she said, I have looked at Royal Caribbean, but they didn't have a Mexican Riviera cruise. Tammy said, not sure of the size of the Dream offhand. Bob Hollis, hi Bruce, 50 and overcast in Atlanta today, 70s tomorrow, and hopefully for the spring. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow we get the breakout. That'd be great. Bob Hollis, got your medallions. Very nice. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for your contribution to my channel. You got your medallions. You like them. Tell everybody how great they are. Tell them to watch. Tell them to send me a super chat. I'll send them one too. That is fantastic. I'll send them 2 for 20, 3 for 30. Awesome stuff. That is great. Richard Kornamaski, Tammy Dream is 3,652 passengers. Good size ship. Desi Wagner, hi Bruce. Tammy Ray saying to Richard, booked on the Carnival Horizon and Carnival Panorama after, not for a while yet. Bob Hollis, Tammy, I've cruised on the Dream. Nice ship. Richard Kornamaski, I'll be going on the Golden Princess next. And Michelle Lucas, we haven't been on a cruise in 2 months. Oh, shucks. Got to wait till Sunday to get on the ship again. Soon, it's coming. Richard Kornamaski, great age, Bruce, 62. That's what I am. Desi Wagner, 2 months. I haven't been on since November. Oh, my goodness. Withdrawal is setting in, I'm sure. Richard Kornamaski, 2 weeks to go for me. Bob Hollis, Bruce, my wife and I, we have hot dogs and Coke at Costco Sunday. We toasted you. And we splurged for the very berry Sunday too. Isn't it great? Oh, you gotta love the very berry Sunday. Couple of hot dogs at Costco with the refillable drinks. I can't beat that deal. $1.50 for the hot dog and a drink. You can't beat that deal. Tammy Ray, Michelle Lucas, so excited and kind of envious of you. I have to wait till the summer of 19 to cruise again. With my job, I can really only take holidays in the summers. Richard Kornamaski, Tammy, it is great when every day is a Saturday. Cam Wilson, hey again, Bruce. Hey Cam, how you doing? Michelle Lucas, Tammy, we've been where you are in our work history. We just retired. And then Tammy saying to Richard, I look forward to having that freedom one day. Hopefully I'll be able to afford to travel. I might go live on a cruise ship, laugh out loud. Cam Wilson, my favorite cruise ship to date, even though I haven't been on it, is the Carnival Vista. How about that? Richard Kornamaski, Tammy, can't wait. I can't get my wife to cruise at all. I can't get my wife to cruise all the time. She does go along with me on long cruises, but can't get her to commit to a 108-day around the world cruise. Can't get her to jump on that one. Yeah, that's a biggie. That's a biggie. That's a whole different animal. Tammy Ray, I watched some videos on the Vista last night, like that casual feel. Cam Wilson saying, I watched Carnival Vista videos all the time. Laugh out loud. I'm just obsessed with cruise ships. There you go. Before my first cruise, which was on the Holland America Oosterdam, I knew I was going on that cruise for about, oh gosh, I had to have been about 2 or 3 months. So it wasn't a long time, but 2 or 3 months. And I was on YouTube all the time, looking up Oosterdam videos from anybody. And I found videos on the cabin, the kind of cabin that I was going to be in. And then I found videos on the pool deck and videos about the restaurants and walking around the ship on the promenade deck, and you name it. And then I saw videos on the ports that ship was going to go to. So I saw Cabo San Lucas. I watched videos on Mazatlan, watched videos about Puerto Vallarta. And by the time I got on the Oosterdam, I knew that ship like the back of my hand. I had studied deck plans on vacationstogo.com. I had been on the Holland America website, checked the Oosterdam out, every angle there. I knew that ship, and it was great. I loved it. I was not disappointed. Not at all disappointed when I got on there. Richard Kornamaski, cruises are very addictive. Darn, just need the money to support the habit. Debbie Manuel, hi everyone. Late getting home this evening. Did I miss anything? We're just talking about some of our favorite ships, Debbie, and I just had a message not too long ago here from Bob Hollis, who's telling me my wife and I had hot dogs and a Coke at Costco on Sunday, and they had the very berry Sunday in my honor. So that was pretty cool. And so you're right up to speed here. Desi Wagner, so addictive. Cruising is so addictive. Bob Hollis remembered 2 more defunct airlines from Saturday's show, AirTran and People's Express. Some of these folks, they went broke, but some of them got absorbed. Now, they may have been absorbed in bankruptcy by other outfits, but yeah, there's a lot of airlines that don't exist anymore. Unbelievable. Bit of news that I came up with today that I thought I'd mention. Talking about Carnival, got some news on Carnival. The Carnival Paradise. This is a ship that was the last of the Paradise class of ships built by Carnival, and this sort of predates the days of balcony cruises. This is sort of the last cruise ship before balcony cabins became the norm. Was one of the last. I'm not going to say the last, but not too long after the Paradise was built, cruise ships started coming out with balconies, and that changed the game completely. Anyway, Carnival's decided that the Paradise is going to stay in its fleet and stay active, and rather than mothball it or sell it off to somebody else, that ship has been dry docked and refurbished big time, and it just came out of dry dock just like last few days. And here's what they did to it. Unbelievable work they did on this. It was a 32-day dry dock. So this is probably a $100 million upgrade on this ship. That's a lot of cash. They added 38 new staterooms in its entirety. 38 new staterooms, 2 of which are Grand Vista suites. So that'll be big bucks. 22 junior suites. 2 ocean view and 12 inside rooms. That's what they've added to this ship. Now, whether they put another story on top of it or how they did it, I don't quite know. I'm kind of looking for photos of the ship for the Paradise to kind of see the before and after. I'm kind of curious to see that, but I haven't seen anything yet. They've added a new water park on the top of the ship. They've added a 300-foot long enclosed twister ride, water twister ride. 300 feet long, like the football field. A lot of water has to be pumped into that. Then they've added 2 82-foot long, they call them racing slides. So these are the water slides that are not enclosed in a tube. You just fly down, as far as I can tell you. Might be enclosed somewhat and then open at the end. And then they've added a kids splash zone to it. So they've spent a lot of money adding the water features to this ship to compete with everybody else that now has in their era. I mean, they're not competing against Hall America. They're not competing against Princess. They're competing against Norwegian, somewhat Royal Caribbean, but Carnival wants to be the discount cruise line, the value priced cruise line, but they still have to have bells and whistles. So here you take the Carnival Paradise ship and you put on a 300-foot long enclosed water ride and 2 80-foot long racing rides. That is going to be a hit with families and kids, big time. They also say here that it's going to be based out of Tampa, passenger capacity of about 2,052 people. And they're going to be running 4, 5, and some 7-day cruises. Mexico, Grand Cayman. So Western Caribbean is going to be their territory. They added as well 98 balconies to the ship. So it would have been 49 probably on each side unless they added some in the back. So they've upgraded existing rooms with balconies. That's an engineering feat as well. And this is where the money comes from, because first you have to tear down and then rebuild to do it. So 38 new rooms, 98 balcony rooms have now been created or added to this meager number they had onto this ship. So the ship has been transformed quite a bit. That tells me that Carnival will sail her for at least 10 more years. It's at least 10 more years of lifespan for this cruise ship at about $100 million upgrade. So they're going to get 10 million plus more out of it every year easily to pay for it. No problem at all. Interesting story there, and interesting work that did on that one. And then the last piece of news I'll give you before we go into some trivia today was I read today about the global cruise business, how the capacity of the global cruising market over the next 10 years will increase by 48%. This is a stunning number. Right now, 106 brand new cruise ships are either under construction or have been ordered to be built and delivered between now and 10 years from now. So that's like 10 a year. This year alone, I think 27 are being delivered, so that number will probably rise. But just based on that number, 106 additional ships, the analysts expect that 20 ships that are out there now, out of the three, whatever hundred there is, will be retired or sold off by the major cruise lines. And that means 86 new ships will be added to these fleets of these existing cruise lines. That's a 22% increase in numbers of ships. That means 472 total ships will be out at sea for cruise lines around the planet. Just an amazing number. The annual capacity right now, annual passenger capacity of the existing cruise lines now, on an annual basis, they can handle right now 26.7 million passengers right now. They're going up in 10 years to 39.6 million passengers, almost 40 million a year will be able to be taking a cruise vacation. That is 48% more over a decade. The gross revenue right now of the major cruise lines is $40 billion. That's today's money. They expect that to rise to $60 billion by 2027. That's serious money. $5 billion a month, $1.25 billion a week. Unbelievable money. The gross profits enjoyed by the cruise lines, they expect to be over $9 billion with a $60 billion revenue coming in. So this is a huge business getting much larger quickly. And it isn't just limited to North America. This is a global phenomenon. They expect cruising to grow in Europe. They're expecting cruising to grow in Asia dramatically. Africa still is an untapped area because of the instability of so many of the countries. South America is still in its infancy for cruising. There's so many areas of the planet that can enjoy cruising yet. But at this point, we're talking about North American cruises, European cruises, Asia cruises, Northern Europe, of course, through Norway, Sweden, up St. Petersburg, that kind of area, and then through the Suez Canal and through Asia and some of Arabian countries, India and Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, that area, and of course Hawaii, Fiji, that whole region. Yeah, cruising is a growing deal now. As long as the economy, is fairly steady, it doesn't go through any major scary shocks, these ships will be built, they will be delivered, cruise lines will continue on. If there were to be a worldwide recession or a depression, for whatever reason, war or whatever came out, then these cruise lines would defer delivery of cruise ships. They would just hold them back, and they'd wait another 3 or 4 or 5 years before they accepted new ships. They'd stay with the fleet they had. They might increase the retirement of older ships now or a few years from now, and reduce the number of the ships in the fleet to reduce operating expenses. So cruise lines can adjust their numbers, but right now it's full steam ahead. It's all go time, baby. It's all good times, and it's a growth business. Really quite something. Let's see here. Desi said, I flew AirTran all the time when it was running. Let's see. Cam Wilson is here. And Gayleen. Hi, Bruce. Sunny in Summerland, BC. 12 degrees Celsius. My front yard is still flooded from last Thursday's rainstorm. Oh, my gosh. You got rain. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Pamela Jordan. Hi again. Cam Wilson. Hey, Pamela. Bob Hollis. In desperation, Seaside is running stories in the travel section of 2 of our local newspapers, he says. Of course, these were the introductory articles from travel agents. All good, of course, prior to sale. All happy times, everything great. The thing that I still remember about this hype game that goes on in the cruise business, every cruise line does it. I mean, I'm not picking on MSC here. Everyone is guilty of this. Royal Caribbean has been hyping Symphony of the Seas for months. Royal Caribbean has been hyping up the Horizon. Norwegian, the Bliss, the Bliss. And now they're talking about the new ships being built, Panorama being built by Carnival, and on we go. Everyone is hyping the greatness of the future. And it's their job. That's what they've got to do. But I remember when the MSC Seaside, they had all the hype for it prior to it arriving in the United States. And they had all the celebrations, and they had all these naming ceremonies for the ship, which I find kind of hokey because you only name the ship once. And I think you should name it at the shipyard. You know, when it hits the water, it's a ship. Okay, it's that's it. You've named it. It's a ship. You get your inaugural cruise. Be done with it. But no, not today. No. Now we have a series of inaugural cruises. Oh yeah, so I have like 4, 5, 6 inaugural cruises to stretch out this promotion game and keep it going. But the one thing I was going to mention that just makes me smile, because you can see the smile on my face, I can't stop, is that the Cruise Critic people, the folks who run Cruise Critic, I love their website. If you ever check it out, cruisecritic.com, they have articles on cruising and reviews by passengers, what it was like grading it, so many marks. And they had their, what was I going to say, their year end, so for the end of 2017, awards for best cruise ships depending on various categories. So they had their best high-end cruise lines, like luxury cruise lines, the best value cruise, the best family-friendly cruise lines, all these categories. I mean, it's just like the Oscars. You can make up more than you need, right? Anyway, they had one category, best new cruise ship. Best new cruise ship. MSC Seaside. MSC Seaside. Best new cruise ship. I don't know if anyone ever been on the ship before. Now, I'm going to cut them a break. I'm going to say, yes, they were. They've been on the ship at the shipbuilder yard. They did reports during its construction because it's a cutting-edge ship. There's no ship that looks like it. There's no other ship that looks like it at all. So they were probably at the shipyard at the invitation to MSC to watch it being built as it was being, down the line. And they got the tour, of course, of the ship when it was, when you were able to get into it, and towards the end of the construction. And as soon as it was built, they got the initial tour right there on the spot. They were probably there at the opening ceremonies at the shipyard. Well, they nominated, they gave it the award, Ship of the Year for 2017, as picked by the editors of Cruise Critic. And I made a video. I made a YouTube video about a number of things, and included in the video was this awards thing that Cruise Critic was doing. And I mentioned different category winners, cruise lines and specific ships in various categories. I don't know if I mentioned every single one. I probably mentioned in my video to go, check out Cruise Critic and see the results for yourself. But I did mention, the MSC Seaside winning the award, for the Ship of the Year. New Ship of the Year, which is like the premium prize. It's like the first prize of prizes, from what I could gather, the way they were, building it up. And I thought to myself, on the video, you may have seen it, I said, well, I find it kind of hard to really do that. Why would you give a brand new ship of the year? It hasn't even had a paying passenger yet. It hasn't been on a cruise. I would think you'd want to wait 2 or 3 months and let it, kind of get through the rough spots, and then find out, put a couple of editors with their families on the ship now and go for a cruise and see for yourselves. Is it worthy? I mean, maybe delay the award. The Ship of the Year for 2017 might have been the ship that was released in the first 3 or 6 months of the year that has now been at sea for a while, proven itself. Which one of those is the best performer? Getting the best reviews from travelers and critics and that type of thing. Newspaper editors, travel editing, several writers. No. They just went right ahead and nominated this as a Ship of the Year. It hadn't hit the seas yet with a paying customer. Well, look at it now. The Ship of the Year is the Ship of the Year, all right. It's the Ship of the Year with critics and with passengers who are fed up with the lack of customer service and all the problems on board the ship from one end to the other, some of which are engineering, some of which are physical problems, and then there are the personnel problems. I mean, it just runs the gamut. There's just a terrible. I did this whole thing on my 5 o'clock show, and I won't repeat it, but I found that most interesting, that these awards are handed out, way in advance before the ship ever touches the water. And my goodness, I find that to be I call it a gamble. I think I think you're gambling, taking that kind of deal. So, like Bob was saying, in desperation, Seaside is running stories in the travel section of 2 of our local newspapers. They probably paid for that space, and of course, these were the introductory articles from travel agents who were given the five and dime tour, before the ship ever hit the seas. And of course, it's all great. Everything's wonderful, and I wonder if those agents are still trying to book clients on the ship now, or are they holding back? Because a lot of travel agents won't book their customers on the Seaside right now. It's amazing. Anyway, so Cam Wilson's reacting to my comment here about the future of the business, and he's saying that's exciting. I hope cruising lasts for a really long time worldwide. Charles Jordan, we're back. Tammy Ray, Bruce, I love your show, although I'm thinking I might be getting more addicted to cruising. Tammy, there's no question about it. You're an addict. There's nothing we can do for you. You might as well just keep watching. It's your fix. If I can help in any way to reduce the anxiety, then I'm doing my job. Lady Luck is here. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lady Luck. Debbie Manuel. Tammy is a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful thing to be addicted to, especially when the darn money thing comes into play. Yeah. Bob Hollis. Yes, Bruce. The caption of these articles was "Ship of the Year." There you go. Yeah. Oh, they're still bragging about it. Absolutely. The cruise line's bragging about it on TV too. The award thing, and it's as selected by Cruise Critic. I mean, you trust Cruise Critic, don't you? Cruise Critic thought it was the ship of the year. It's got to be the ship of the year. If they say it's ship of the year, it's got to be good. It's got to be great. Yeah, well, it was great. Great on the tour. Yeah. When we were at the shipyard, we loved it. Oh, what a great looking ship, boy. Yeah. I wonder if the Cruise Critic editors were put in the inside rooms and the views right next to the poop smell room. Why don't you try a free week in there? Tell us how you like it now. Is it the ship of the year now? Yeah. Or how about an award for the most, from the high to the low award? The best to the worst award. Like award for the least improved ship of the year. Because this one is going to win an award for breaking people's hearts. I think this has been a disaster so far. Not good at all. Unbelievable. Richard Kermeski, when you are on a cruise and you're part of Cruise Critic, if they identify you, they treat you really well. I set up a special dinner for like 35 people, winemakers. They gave me a free dinner. There you go. I mean, the cruise lines, they love the promotion. I mean, Cruise Critic has a lot of followers, and so they got some power with cruisers. I signed into Cruise Critic years ago and followed it, but I was disappointed when I saw that award. I thought, you guys are you're just sucking up to these guys. That's what you're doing. To me, that's what it feels like. You're just sucking up to them because they've won nothing. They've earned nothing. They've got a nice cruise line. MSC, great cruise line, great company. They're #1 in Europe. There's a reason for that. They know what they're doing. But with this particular ship, they have had a real you remember those NFL blooper videos we used to watch years ago? When they used to use film and they had the music playing in the background and the players would try to fall on the football on a muddy field. Those kinds. Here's what we have with Seaside right here. We got an NFL blooper film going here on the MSC Seaside, and it's just a blooper after a blooper. And now they're desperately trying to change the message. And I find it sad because they're trying to fool people into going onto the ship when there are issues there. Now, look, if 8 out of 10 people come off those cruises, that are buying now, and they're happy, then I'm happy. Oh, of course. But I'm disappointed, really disappointed for the other 20% who might come off that ship and go, "Oh man, what a disaster! Geez, I didn't know. If I only had heard this, these problems. Now I know why I got such a deal." Like, I'm wondering how many people will come off the cruise in the next 3 months that will comment about, "I shouldn't have done that cruise. Oh, I'm really regretful I was on that cruise." Especially if you got children near this poop smell thing, if that's the issue. Or what if you're in one of those cabins where the closet door just comes out of the track and falls down? Those are solid wood doors. You hit a 4-year-old on the noggin on one of those, we're talking potentially serious problems, real serious problems. And so I'm at wit's end. I don't know what to say. I get criticized about what I'm saying, just so you know, folks. I have a few followers who are following my commentary and they don't like it. I think they're employed by MSC, but what can I tell you? Just telling you what I hear. Yeah, interesting. Let's see here. Tammy Ray, I agree. Ships should actually earn their awards, not get them handed to them. I agree. Bob Hulse, all about the design, not the function. Way to go, Bob. That's probably exactly what they probably just gave an award for looking so good. Yeah, well, that's not how cruise ships work. No, it's not. Yeah, Wilson. Hey, Lady Luck. Lady Luck is saying hi back. Let's see here. Let's see. Got some people are greeting each other, so I'll skip past those. Richard Kormaski, we had 500 cruisers on the transatlantic. We were a large group. There you go. Desi Wagner, Cam. Let's see. Bob Hollis. Not an NFL blooper, an NFL pooper. Yeah, Cam Wilson. I'll make an account tonight. I'm hearing about cruise ship. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so let's talk about. Let's do some trivia. I got some trivia for you guys. This first one. Let me just think about which one I'm going to work on here. I got a couple here for you, and I'm just trying to figure which one I'm going to hit you with first. Okay, let's do this one. Okay, I got one here for you. This one here has 10 correct answers. All right, it's like one of these. It's a trivia question with more than one correct answer. And here's the deal. The question is this. All right, tell me if you can. Tell me the names of airlines around the world, global, that actually fly to all 6 continents. So we're talking North America, we're talking South America, we're talking Europe, we're talking Asia, we're talking Africa, and we're talking probably Australia. Airlines that fly to all 6 continents on the planet. There are only 10. Of all the airlines, there's only 10. I'd be curious to know if you guys can guess all 10 of these airlines that can fly to all 6 continents. Now let's see what we have here. Cam Wilson is asking about Delta. You're right on that one. Delta is one of them. And Bob Hall said Delta too. Galen Davidson is asking about Air Canada. No, Air Canada does not fly to all 6 continents. They're not on the list. But I bet you could fly 4 or 5 of them. Pretty good run. Bob Hollis is asking about Air France. And nope, Air France does not fly to all 6. Let's see, who else have we got here so far? See if anyone else is guessing here. Peter, British Airlines? Yes, sir. British Airlines or British Airways is definitely one of them. BOAC from the old days. They definitely fly to all 6. Exactly. What do we have here? Debbie is asking about United. Correct, Debbie. You got one. United is that's 3. 7 to go. Lufthansa from Lawrence, 3135. Lufthansa, no. Lufthansa does not fly to 6 different continents. Isn't that interesting? Lufthansa has an incredible fleet, but they don't fly to 6. Hey, Soul Full of Music, 100. Cam Wilson saying hi to you. There he is, British Airways. He's saying evening all. How you doing, everybody? Qantas, Peter Heckema is looking at Qantas. Correct. Yes, sir. That is 4, leaving us 6. You've got it with Qantas. Absolutely. Let's see if we get any more guesses. No cheating on the internet now. No cheating. We have 6. Now, I can tell you with a hint, none of the 6 that are remaining are American. None Canadian. What do we have here? Japan Airlines from Lawrence. Nope. Japan Airlines does not fly to all 6 continents. Bob Hollis, American Airlines. No, American doesn't fly to all 6. Richard Kormaski, trivia. Emirates. Yep, Emirates does fly to all 6 out of Dubai. That is correct. They're kind of in the middle of it all, actually. Yep, they do, leaving us with 5 to get. Peter Heckema is going with Korean Airlines. You are right, sir. Korean Air is definitely one of them. That is a feat. They do fly. And Cam Wilson, European Airlines? No, Cam, no European. There's no brand called European Airlines. Are you asking me about any European airlines? I can't give anything away yet. Tammy Ray saying I'm totally blanking airlines. Richard Kormaski, Qantas, you're right. You got it done. Tammy Ray, gone. Lorenz is saying Etihad. Etihad. I don't know how you pronounce it. I pronounce it Etihad. That's correct. They're another one. There are 3 left that do the 6 continents. 3 left. British Airways, I'll tell you who we've got. We've got Korean Air, Emirates, Etihad, British Airways, United Airlines, Delta Airlines, and Qantas. Those are the guesses. 7 guesses, correct. 3 to go. Lufthansa is not. British Airways we have. Cam Wilson, I made up a brand. Laugh out loud. I know it. I will tell you that the 3 remaining are not based in Europe. Not based in Europe at all. Richard's always going back to his fallback position. Hooters Airlines. If they aren't, they should be. That's right, but they aren't. Lawrence is asking about KLM. No, that's a European-based, and no. As a matter of fact, KLM is merged with Air France, and even combined, they don't do 6 continents. Isn't that something? Singapore Airlines from Peter Heckema. Correct. Singapore is 1. I got 2 to go. Australian Air. No, there's no Australian Air. Debbie is laughing at Richard. Hooters. Lawrence, Air New Zealand. No, not Air New Zealand. Richard loving it. Air China from Richard Koromaski. It's not Air China. No, there are 2 left. Neither of which are Chinese. How about that? Yeah, not Chinese either. 2 left. Wow. Not European, not American, not Chinese. Air China, nope. As I said, not Air China. So, what are we going to do here? One of them you might get, but the other one, I doubt any of you will get it. I wouldn't have got it. But let's see here. Richard's saying the Russian Airlines. No, none of the Russian Airlines either. Tammy Ray, first letter. Wait a minute. If I need it, I'll do it. Galen, Austrian Airlines? Austrian? No, that's Europe. Nope. Porter Airlines from Peter. That's a regional airline out of Ontario in Canada. Bob, Bruce, I'm late. Hi, everyone. Got the medallion. Oh, fantastic. That is great, Bob. I'm glad to hear you got it. Soulful Music. Emirates, guessed already. We already have it. Malaysia Air. Richard Koromaski. That's a good guess, but nope, it's not it. Malaysia was flying to Europe and Asia, Australia, but not South America. They didn't fly to South America. 2 to go. Okay, the easy one. Wow, easy one. I'm going to tell you that it's based in the Middle East. It's a Middle East airline. So guess the Middle East Airlines, and you'll probably get this one pretty quick. El Al, nope, not El Al. And India, Tammy, no. Oh, here we go. Lorenz, well done. South African Airlines. You got to have cheated, though. Come on, Lorenz. Fess up. You had to have cheated. If you didn't know off the tip of your tongue, you would have. Qatar, here it is. Qatar, we got it. Lorenz, I think Lorenz is looking this up. I'm just saying. It's okay. Those are the 10. Here they are again. South African Airlines, Qatar Airways, Singapore, Korean, Emirates, Etihad, British Air, United, Delta, and Qantas. Those are the 10 that fly to all 6 continents on the planet. These airplanes need to be big and fuel efficient. I was just reading about. I seriously didn't cheat. You say, I didn't cheat. Okay, I believe it. I was just reading up on the flight they had just last week. I think I'm not sure if it's a daily flight. It might be a daily flight now between Perth, Australia, and London Heathrow. It's over 9,000 miles. It's 15 or 17 hours. 17 hours in the air. The first air service you could take from London, England, to Australia was in 1947, and it took 4 days, if I recall, to do the trip. 4 days and a whole bunch of stops. The aircraft they're using is a Dreamliner from Boeing, and it's a twin-engine plane, and it can fly with half the fuel. It uses half the fuel that a 747 would use, and can fly this distance. It's just a truly incredible feat. They have 16 crew or 20 crew, 4 2 pilots, 2 co-pilots, 4 in the cabin. So two of the cabin staff are having a nap while the other 2 are flying, and then vice versa. So This is a flight that it runs about 900 British pounds in economy, which is not that much money when you think about a 17-hour flight. Oh my goodness, that's a heck of a deal. Amazing stuff. Really amazing. There are other flights that are close in length and distance to this flight, but this happens to be the longest at the moment, the longest, and the first time that you can go nonstop from the UK to Australia, from what I understand. And that's an exciting thing. That's an amazing thing. Isku Park, sorry I'm late. Hi from Thunder Bay, Ontario. -5 Celsius here and light snow. Isku, welcome. Richard Kermaski, Boeing is starting to get most of the orders for long distance routes. American just bought a bunch of them for the long range flights. The folks at Airbus, they're building that. They built their A350, which is a twin engine competitor to the Dreamliner. And they're now building the A350. They call it the 1000. That's the longest stretched version of that plane. And it will hold over 400 passengers. But it won't do that for 17-hour flights. But it can haul a lot of people economically over, say, a 6, 7, 8-hour flight easily. Quite amazing, these aircraft. Absolutely amazing. Built with composite materials as opposed to aluminum, which, of course, aluminum itself is light. Composite materials are lighter but stronger, and they can take more flex. And so you can pressurize the inside of the cabin to 6,000 feet instead of 8,000 feet. So if you're flying across the Atlantic in 6,000 feet elevation relative versus 8,000, you'll arrive much more refreshed. There'll be more humidity in the cabin. The air is thicker. You won't feel as dehydrated or as tired or as jet lagged. It's amazing, just amazing how they're building these out. It's quite amazing. Richard saying, yes, I own stock in Boeing. Tabby Ray, I'd rather stop and just fuel up before flying over the ocean. Yeah, let's just pull over, get some gas, and then we'll keep going. Tabby Ray, that's great, Tabby. Richard Kermaski, the Dreamliner 77-1000 was just licensed to fly. Go stock, go. That's another one. And then Delta is buying, Bob Hollis is saying, Delta's buying A350s for long distance, scaling back on the 777s and the 767s. Very interesting. Here in Canada, a little quick story for you. We have two airlines in Canada that we call our national airlines. One is Air Canada, been around forever. Bankrupt once or twice, but the government always bails it out and regurgitates it and keeps flying. It's national priority. And then we have WestJet. And WestJet started as a regional airline in Western Canada, quickly grew into a national carrier, and they started like Southwest Airlines, 737s. That's all they had at the beginning. And then after a few years, they went into twin turboprop planes for shorter routes to feed their hubs for the 737s. And then they decided they wanted to go into international long-distance travel because Air Canada out of Canada had it all to itself. So as a Canadian, to fly from Calgary to Heathrow, I had to go Air Canada, or had to go for an international carrier. And a lot of Canadians hate Air Canada because it's just sparks of the old days when it was government controlled and whatever. And, every airline has its good stories and bad stories, just like everybody else. Okay, so WestJet decides we're going to go into the international business, but WestJet doesn't have the cash, the capital that Air Canada has. So the thinking was, well, for us to do it, we can do it a lot cheaper than if we bought brand new. We'll buy used planes. So Qantas had been using 767s for 20 years. Great plane. They had these planes flown into the desert in California to park them. And WestJet picked up, I think, 4 of them. They bought 4 planes. And in conjunction and with the coordination of Boeing, because WestJet is a Boeing customer for those 737s, Boeing said to WestJet, I'll tell you what, we'll help finance those planes. So, we'll get you financing with that through partners, and we'll refurbish these for you. We'll certify them, refurbish them, redo the interiors, and they'll be just great. And so that's what happened. So it took about a year, and the first plane came, the second plane a few months later, and then a few months later, the third one, a few months later, the fourth one. So WestJet started offering transatlantic flights out of Canada from Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, and elsewhere to Gatwick, actually, and at a real bargain. Air Canada would be $1,000, WestJet be $750. This kind of stuff, way cheaper. The problem was that in the early days of the 767 coming over to WestJet, they'd land in Gatwick, and there'd be warning lights in the dashboard that the pilots had to resolve. and they would have to order parts for the plane. Well, the Boeing wasn't making 767s anymore. They were only refurbishing existing ones, and so now the parts scramble was on. And so WestJet would have to lease another aircraft from another airline like Atlas Air on an emergency basis, whatever the plane was, a 747, whatever it was, and fly Canadians or all these passengers in Gatwick back to Canada. And then fly from Canada back to Gatwick, and hopefully by the time they got back to Gatwick the next day, that this 747 or 767 would be fixed and would be ready to fly again. And this happened more than once, and passengers are getting annoyed because there would be this 5-6 hour delay before the next plane would be brought in, because you had to get a crew. The crew of the 767 can't fly this plane. It's not a 767. They're not trained for it. So you had to bring in a charter plane with a crew and the stewardesses all on last minute call. 5 hours, 6 hours minimum. And so the Canadians and other passengers were getting pretty upset about these constant delays. And WestJet was making it up with credits and compensation, but it still didn't help. People were missing weddings, get-togethers, graduations. They were missing all kinds of problems. So WestJet last year made a big announcement. We're buying 20 Dreamliners, because in the last 2 or 3 years, Boeing wasn't selling very many Dreamliners. They had a nice order book going, and then the order book went flat when the A350 started coming out from Airbus. And Boeing started getting a little more aggressive with clientele. So they probably picked up the phone and called their pals at WestJet and said, how are those 767s working out? And WestJet's going, well, they were cheap to buy, and they were cheap to modernize. But I got to tell you, we're having these issues, and the amount of credits we're giving away is eating into our profit margin. And then WestJet would say to Boeing, how are those Dreamliners going? And Boeing would go, well, they were going pretty good when we started building them, but it's kind of quiet right now. We've got incentives. And so meeting of the minds, they got together, and WestJet took a firm order for 10 with an option for 10 more. And within the next year or two, the first of the Dreamliners will start being delivered to WestJet. And they're far more economical than the 767s. They use much less fuel. Their maintenance programs are unbelievable. The plane can go so much longer between maintenance. So to operate the plane is much cheaper for the airline. And in the end, it'll be a better deal. But it took both of them to kind of be in that sweet spot to meet in the middle, because when WestJet wanted to get long-distance planes, they couldn't afford Dreamliners. Boeing's prices were out of reach for WestJet. And unless you order 10 of them, you're not really taking a run at that aircraft. You have to have 10, especially in Canada, because you can fly to Europe from 5 or 6 locations back and forth. You have to have at least 10. So that's what happened there. So there's a story for you on airplanes. I love airplanes. Love cruise ships. Love airplanes. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, Delta. So Delta's buying A350s for long distance. The competition between Airbus and Boeing, cutthroat, just cutthroat. Airlines are in the middle grinding these guys. Way to go, airlines. Hopefully it'll save us money, or at least we'll keep the inflation rate down for tickets for those of us who fly. Okay, next trivia question. This one, Steaming Bean, those WestJet commercials are real tearjerkers. Okay, here's a trivia question for you guys where we have 20 answers. And we'll see how you guys do on this one. You're in the United States. You're on U.S. soil. I'm going to say it that way. You're on U.S. soil, and you want to fly to Tokyo non-stop on a direct flight. Okay, what cities can you fly from, or what areas can you fly from in the United States? Tokyo non-stop. All right, 20 answers. Where can you go? And I'll give you clues and hints if needed as we go forward. So let's see what we have. Richard Kormaski, Los Angeles. That is correct. Los Angeles is definitely on the list. And I'm just going to find it right there. I got Los Angeles. Delta, not the airlines, the cities. Dallas from Richard Kormaski. That is correct. Dallas is an answer we're looking for. Let's see here. I might get ahead of myself. Steaming Bean, Seattle. Yep, you got it. Seattle is on that list. Richard Kormaski is saying Chicago, and you are right, sir. There we go. We got Chicago off the list. Seattle, we just did. Thank you, Askew. Bob Hollis, looks like Atlanta he's trying to squeeze in there. it is Atlanta. That is correct. I will tell you, that is the furthest flight from U.S. land to Tokyo, 6,850 miles from Atlanta. It's the furthest flight. Let's see. Steaming Bean is asking about Houston, and Houston is correct. Soulful of Music, San Francisco. Yes, it is San Francisco. That is one of them. JFK for Norman Duarte, New York City. That is correct, I believe. Where am I here? Yep, there it is, New York City. The third longest flight is New York City to Tokyo. Richard's going with Atlanta. We have it. San Diego from Isku Park. San Diego, yes, 5,576 miles. That is correct. Let's see what we have. Las Vegas from Tammy Ray. No, you cannot fly Tokyo to Las Vegas to Tokyo nonstop. No flight exists. Denver, Richard Kornamaski. Denver, yep, that is correct. That's another one. New York City from Peter Heckema. We got New York. Bob Hollis, Detroit. Yes, Detroit is on that list. Debbie's asking San Francisco. We got San Francisco. Very good. Richard Kornamaski, Minneapolis, St. Paul. Yes, Minneapolis is correct. Steaming Bean, DV. Are you talking Denver? Because we got it. And Steaming Bean, DC. Let's try Washington, the city of Washington. Let's just double check here. No, there is no flight to. Oh, sorry, there is. I apologize. There is. Second longest flight. That is correct. DC. Chicago from Peter. I think we got it. Yeah, we already have Chicago. Norman Duarte is asking about Alaska. No, there is no flight, direct flight to Tokyo from Alaska, like Anchorage or Juneau. No, nothing like that. I have a feeling population reasons, just not enough people to do it. Phoenix. Bob Hollis is asking about Phoenix, and no, Phoenix does not make the list. Let me rattle off the cities you got. So far, you've got Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego, Denver, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Dallas, Houston, and New York, Washington, and finally Atlanta. Leaving us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go. We have 6 to go. Now, I caught one here. Richard Kornamaski is going Honolulu, Hawaii, and that is correct. That is the second shortest flight to Tokyo. Not the shortest, second shortest to Tokyo. Guam from the Steaming Bean. You got it. That is the shortest flight. U.S. territory, Guam, 1,558 miles. Got the short one. Now we need a couple of more. We need 1, 2, 3 more. We have 3 cities left to guess that you can fly nonstop from the U.S. to Tokyo. All right. Debbie Manuel is guessing Seattle. We have it. Boston. Bob O is going with Boston, and that is correct. That is the second. The last one. One of the last ones I've left is one of the longest trips, but not the longest. Charlotte. From Peter Heckema. No, it is not Charlotte. We are looking for 2. 3. Looking for 3 more. One is on the East Coast. 2 on the West Coast. This is easy. Anyone can do this. Anyone. Let's see here. What do we got? Boston, we just had. And I'm waiting for any more guesses. Orlando. No, Orlando is no. You'd think, but no. Atlanta is the furthest. Orlando would be further. No flights. Washington, D.C. from Peter Heckema. We've already got Washington. Richard Kornamaski, Miami. Nope, that would be even longer. Nope, there's a plane that can do it, though. Tammy Ray, Newark, New Jersey. Correct. Newark is correct. That is one of them. Steaming Bean looks like Philly. No, Philly not. Miami, no. Baltimore, no. We're now down to, since we got Newark, that was the East Coast. We have 2 West Coast cities left. There's 2 West Coast cities you haven't guessed yet, folks. And they're waiting for you. They're waiting. Oakland? Nope, not Oakland. Not Oakland. 2 to go. What could they be? I'll tell you what West Coast cities you've guessed. You've guessed Seattle. You've guessed San Francisco. You've guessed Los Angeles. You've guessed San Diego. Those you've guessed, but there are still 2 more. How about that? Richard Kormaski is looking at Portland, and he's correct. That is one of them right there. And Soul Full of Music is going with LA. We already have it. Steaming Bean came in with Portland. So did Bob O. We have it. We have it. Steaming Bean, San Jose. Yeah, San Jose is the one. That's it. That's the list. You've done it. Those are the 20. Let me read them off again. The shortest flight from U.S. territory to Tokyo nonstop is Guam, 1,558 miles. Followed right behind by Honolulu, Hawaii, 3,819 miles, 7 hours. Seattle, 4,769 miles. Then Portland, 4,800 odd miles. San Francisco, 5,100 miles. And I guess that's because in San Francisco, the further south you go, you have to go north and over and then down the other side of the Pacific, north up to the Arctic and then over. Portland, San Francisco. Next city is San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego at 5,576 miles. Denver, 5,792 miles. Minneapolis, 5,950 miles. Then we have a break going up to Chicago, 6,274 miles. So that's got to be 11 hours from Chicago. 6,397 miles, Detroit. 6,427 miles, Dallas. 6,643 for Houston. 6,702 for Boston. And then we come into the long ones, the remaining longer ones. Newark, 6,732. JFK, 6,745 miles. Washington, 6,753. And Atlanta, 6,850 miles. Got to be 12, 13 hours to get from Atlanta to Tokyo nonstop. Planes that can do it would be probably 747s all day long. 787 Dreamliners, A350s, A380s, the double-deckers could do it, but I don't know if any double-deckers do flights in and out of the United States to Tokyo. I don't think Japanese airlines have any A380s, and there's no American airline that has an A380. So those flights wouldn't work. And what else would there have been? The A340s, the 4-engine Airbus planes could have done it. So those are the ones. Steaming Bean is guessing Utah. Richard Kormaski, do you know the way, Steaming? Is Steaming Bean saying, I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so. Debbie Manuel went, dang! And Richard Kormaski, there was a song in the 60s and 70s, Steaming Bean. Oh, yes, Richard. Steaming Bean. I flew all the way to Tokyo, and my arms were tired. Everyone liked that. Well, there you go, kids. There's a couple of trivia questions for tonight, and I think you did pretty well. I didn't have to give away too many hints tonight. I think you guys did all right. I'm going to have to put some more together, for Thursday night. Tomorrow it's just one show, 5 o'clock. But Thursday I've got 2 shows. I'll see if I can put together a couple more trivias for you, maybe 2 or 3 more, and see if I can stump you on some of these, see what we come up with. 777 as well, Lorenzo's saying. Yeah, that's right. I forgot that flight. 777 can make that flight as well. For sure it can, yeah. And then, of course, the private jets, the Gulfstream 5 can get you from LA to Tokyo. For sure. Some of these executive jets can probably do New York to Tokyo. Unbelievable. In quite nice comfort, I might say. Richard Kormaski, thanks for another fine night all. Steaming Bean, Canadian football trivia. That'll get everybody. Yeah. Thanks for joining me tonight. Thanks for your thumbs ups today. Really appreciate that, you guys. We're piling them up as best we can, and we appreciate it. We're looking forward to tomorrow's show. I'll be on tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Look forward to seeing you guys there. In the meantime, I'm going to say my good nights and take it easy. Oh, Bob, thank you. Egg and hot dog money for Costco. Sending me $5 super chat right at the end of the show. Thanks, Bob. Thanks for squeezing it in there. That's great. You and Debbie took care of me today. Thank you too, Debbie, on your earlier one tonight. I really appreciate that. So tomorrow we'll do some more cruise ship information, news, and what's going on. Thursday we'll do 2 shows, Friday 1, Saturday 1. And thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the comments. And I'll do it. That'll do it for now. So Bruce, here saying thanks for joining me tonight on my live stream today. Traveling with Bruce, the premium, the prime time show, the 8 o'clock Tuesday show. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We'll catch you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, with more cruise ship information. Have a good evening in the meantime, and we'll talk to you then. Take care, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye for now.